Hold up.
Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a drink next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand? Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My ring, finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Buck Sweet Podcast is back live in effect. I'm here with the founder of Buck Sweet Podcast, Mr. Chris Harris, all the way from across the pond. Blessings to see you, my brother. Chris, you with me? I love y'all gotta bear with us a little bit, man, because like I said, he all the way across overseas, man. That connection can be a little tough. That connection can be a little tough. Chris, you with me? All right, he having some technical difficulties right now, but everybody, we all know why we here, man. We trying
Hey,
to get into
what's
this round two
going
of
on,
the
everybody? Hey, look, man.
NCHSA.
I have to apologize. Yeah, I have to apologize to everyone. Yeah,
Oh, it's all good. We just happy to be here.
I apologize.
It's all good, man. We we here to recap the second round of the playoffs. A lot of action was happening this week as opposed to last week. You know, there was a lot of buys last week, and we could talk a little bit about that a little bit later. A little bit later, regarding those buys and where some of those buys actually earned. But very tumultuous Friday night
Yeah,
we
man.
had.
For
But before we
getting
dive
like a
into it,
say on everything, man. Man, I'm just gonna troubleshoot this stuff real
no, you
quick.
good, bro. You good. But I'm gonna try to let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors before we dive into all this football content that we got, okay? First and foremost, we have to give a shout out to the first man on deck, Mr. Austin Brinkley with Farm Bureau Insurance. That man, he will take care of you, home, auto, life insurance, whatever your needs is. Austin Brinkley can take care of you. He is a proud member of the Tiger Nation out there in the James Keenan area, but he cares all about Sampson County and this region, period, between Bladen County, Duplin County, all over. Hit up Austin Brinkley for all of your insurance needs. My next sponsor, we will be remiss. I'm having a hard time saying this. Chris, you with me? Everybody bear with us with our technical difficulties here, man. Like I said, it's tough. We're doing
I can hear you.
continental streaming. It's tough.
You got me.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit now. Yeah, but hold tight. I'm sorry, man. We're going through it. Hope we ain't lose them. I think we lost Chris, man. And he usually, as everybody know, he usually do our sponsor stuff. So I'm I'm apologizing that I'm not here, but I'm prepared for the sponsors. That's on me. But I definitely have to give her a shout out. Nonetheless, Miss Latoya Outlaw Stevens, um, real estate agent out there in the same area. She said, big wins start with the right game plan. I'm proud to serve families across our community with dedication and heart. Ms. Stevens, we appreciate your partnership and we appreciate what you bring to BuzzFeed Podcast, and we appreciate more greatly of what you bring to the community. Thank you for all that you do now. If I wasn't mistaken, I think there's a new sponsor who's a bell sponsor lady, the J Team Bell Bond. Big shout out to them as well for being a profound advocate to the Buck Street podcast. We want to give you a shout out as well to the J Team. Thank y'all so much for what you guys do. You guys that are in the pitch, give them a shout out. You can contact them at 910-284-1042. Okay. All right, everybody, let's look into the scoreboard real quick. It's a lot. A lot transpired this Friday. And I ain't gonna lie, some things hurt. Some things definitely hurt some feelings this weekend. Let's go through it. We had T.W. Andrews taking down Clinton 36-17. East Duplin beating North Johnston 48-20. Pender blanking Hertford 60-0. Hopton edging out Lakewood 20-14, which was the Samson Independent Game of the Week. If you ain't grabbed that copy yet, go get that. It's on the shelves now. East Bladen getting Union pretty good, 50-0 at East Bladen. James Keenan putting away with the Bulldogs of Wallace, 26-7. Kinston overcome the Raiders, 34-13. Hoggard blanking out Willow Springs, 48-0. 71st getting a hard fought win, 22-3 against South Johnston. North Duplin blank Southside, 42-0. Northeastern versus South Columbus, 56-20. Aiden Grifton versus Wattville. And this was probably one of the most closest games of Friday's events, 27-26. St. Paul's 46 to West Carteret's 32. Reedsville 44. The Red Springs 0. Reedsville, we already know about them. What they call themselves over there, Titletown. Oceanside 24, taking down Marlboro. 7 points, man. Coach CJ, I don't know. that would hurt. We might try to get into that one later too. Dylan rolling past Silver Bluff 42-7. Loris 56-20. Scotland edging out Terry Sanford 49-40. Richmond taking care of Porter Ridge 48-43. And Cape Fear rolling past Sanderson handily with 47-7. What what a Friday night, man. What a Friday night. It was deep. It was a lot. Um Really, I haven't had time to watch all the myriad of games that transpired. I'm just being acclimated with what happened here in Simpson County. And let's just say it did not go the way it did not go the way that we would hope. Um Hopkins being the lone team that's advancing to the third round as far as football goes. I didn't see that coming, but there was a lot of hard fought games though, nonetheless. It's a lot of hard fought games. Um I guess I can kind of start with the game that I actually witnessed and I covered, which was the Hopton Lakewood game. Um, that matchup. was very tightly contested, as the score indicates. Both teams had their flashes on offense, and both teams had their flashes on defense as well. At the end of the night, it really came down to who made the least amount of mistakes. The game was kind of penalty ridden a little bit. Um, and both teams had home run plays on both sides of the ball. And there were some instances where you had a home run play get called back because of a holding call that was unnecessary, or a legal motion before the snap, and the refs blow the whistle late or whatever. And I'm not criticizing no refs or nothing like that. It was a very physical game. I felt like some of the officiating, they let it go on, and let some things go that any other game probably would have got probably would have got called. They let the boys be boys, or young men be young men, let me say, and let them play. But it was a hard game. But the a big takeaway that I have from that game is that there was no fisticuffs and all that stuff. I know sometimes with an inter-county matchup like that, when people are familiar with each other, sometimes things can get a little hostile. Things get a little wild. I've even seen at a middle school game, at the end of the game, people get chirpy in the parking lot and taking it beyond sports. They left everything on the field. They let the pads do the talking, and that's the stuff that you love to see. That's the stuff that you love to see. Um, I was happy to witness that game, happy to see that game. Of course, the winner of that game, regardless who it was going to be, is going to have a tough road in that third round going against Tarboro. Um, I had a talk with Coach Klantz at the end of the game, and he said that everybody knows that in this conference, Tarboro is kind of that standard, and he's glad that his team is having the opportunity to go against that now, instead of just being nervous and being like, oh man, well, it's kind of a lose lose. You can win this game, but next week you got to go against Tarboro. Tarboro got to play them. That's what he said. And I appreciated that, man. Sometimes people look at those rankings, they look at that seeding, and they defeat themselves before they even touch the field. They see like, oh my God, next round we got to play so and so, and then you mess up your whole mentality about how you going into this game. You know what I mean? You can't defeat yourself before you step on the field. You can't just say, "Oh my God, we playing the one seed. Let's go ahead and pack up our lunch and go home." That's not how this sport works, man. Anybody can get it on any given Friday. We've said this from the beginning of the season, and it stands true now more than ever in these playoffs. Because there's been some upsets throughout these first two rounds. Union pulled off an upset last week, even though they failed this week. Union pulled off a big upset last week, and I mean, any given Friday, it can happen. So one thing I want to implore all players is like don't be too wrapped up in those brackets and looking at those seedings and say, "Oh my God, we playing so and so and so and so." Bring your A game. Bring your A game, and who knows what can happen. Sometimes teams can play down to an opponent. You can sneak them with a counter punch, and then look at God. You go up here going on to the next round, getting one step closer to state. Chris, man, we're glad to have you back, man. Are you with me?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you good.
I hope everybody in the audience can hear me. I have to apologize. Yeah, my connection ain't that good. I'm in an undisclosed location, Southeast Asia, and the let's just say the internet ain't that good. But hopefully everyone can hear me. And I apologize for those for the 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 connection issues, and I wasn't able to give it to our sponsors and everything. But I mean, you up here handling business. I already know they in good hands, man.
I stumbled through it a little bit. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I stumbled through it a little bit, but we made sure that we gave them their flowers, and we appreciate all that they do, man. Well, Mr. Harris, man, what kind of y'all just had him so smooth, man. Let my boy rock. Man, Bill Gates, you said you trying to bring internet to the world, man. Bring it to the world then. Help my boy out, man. You trying to do a good service over there, man. Y'all gotta help my boy out. Um, I wanted to see if he wanted to give any kind of input regarding the Hopton Lakewood game before I moved on. As I said, we got a lot of other local games that we wanted to get into. Chris, are you with me?
I'm with you, and I apologize, man. I just
It's all good. We're gonna
it,
weather the
it's
storm.
probably gonna be an all. We just go, we go through these pockets of bad service around here. But uh, I heard you talking about Hopton having to go to Tarboro this upcoming Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Look, let me. I don't want any I don't want any people mad at me because I've gave Hopkins plenty of flowers this year. But my opinion on Tarboro has been the same since August, and I'm not coming off that. They ain't shown me no reason to come off of it. So yeah, my opinion on Tarboro, man. Tarboro, that's not just a football team, man. That's what we call a program.
Yeah.
When you have that level of consistency and not just winning seasons, we talking about if they were to go this year, this would be their 10th straight uh, trip to the state championship game. Like you know, I mean that right there is saying of itself. So that's not just a football team. That's a program where we talk about. You over here, people talk about the standard. It's the standard, and standard out there, man. It's not just to win a couple games. It's not just to win conference championships, man. They're looking at state championship appearances every season. That's the standard around there. When you have that type of standard, and the players coming in with that mentality, it's that's a tough place to go to. Man. It's definitely gonna be a tough road to plow for the Wildcats, but I mean, like you said, every given man, it's games for a reason. You know, but I'm just gonna say this: Hopkins gonna have to play the best game they've ever played.
Yeah.
You go against a team like Tarboro, you got to play mistake-free football and hope that the other team makes a lot of mistakes because yeah, that's a tough one. Like I said, man, I don't want to ruffle no feathers or anything, but my opinion has been the same on Tarboro since August,
Yeah.
and it ain't changed none. So until until they that they that's the team, man. I just don't see it
Right.
happening this season. But I mean, shout out to Hopkins though. Doesn't take away anything they've done this year. You still got a game to play on Friday night. You're the last team standing in the county. Um, we want to I want to send my everybody say a prayer for Mr. Paul Yates wherever he is right now. I know he's probably hurting right now. Uh, the team that you have, how about
We
that?
kept the
But
receipts, Mr.
as
Yates.
far as
I
the
wore this
game,
just for you, man. We kept the receipts, Mr. Yates. I wore this just for you
well,
because I
yeah.
remember all that
how,
slick
how
talking
how
he
about
did.
that Buck Sweet Sports Kiss of Death he was talking about?
Yeah.
Cause they still playing, But as far as that game goes Friday night, man, a big time Sanford County rivalry, man. That's a you want to talk about a just a great game. Just
Yes.
that local pride. Hats off to Lakewood. Lakewood fought hard. I mean, they had an outstanding season once again with
Mhm.
breaking in a new head coach and Coach Travis L. done great things out there and hopefully continue to do so. And they got some great athletes that I hate to see go, man. And shout out to their senior athletes. Tough way to end your high school career, but I mean, be a lot to be proud of, and no reason to hang no head, man.
Right.
So definitely looking forward to following a lot of those guys, going on to the next level. And yeah,
Which
like I said, we'll
let me
have to
piggyback
get come
off.
to how it comes with it, man.
Let me piggyback off because I did talk to Coach Elliott. I interviewed him after the game. Deshaun Carr is getting some calls, getting some offers. Devin Jones, my big boy DJ, he's getting some calls. And I also had the time to embrace Tyler Monk at the end of the game, man. Because a lot of people forget, man. Just because I might have this H on my head and all this stuff, man, I'm connected with kids from all these schools, man. Because I genuinely love these kids all over. Like if y'all read the article that came out today in the Simpson Independent, it is straight down the middle. It ain't no bias. Like I wrote the game, and it's probably one of my longest game of the week articles that I've ever written because they gave me so much content on both sides about how defensive the game was and how offensive the game was at times. Um, it was straight down the middle. But at the end of the game, in front of Coach Scrunch, Tyler Monk come up to me, give me a hug, and I'm telling him like the job's not finished, man, because that kid he's gonna go somewhere. Tyler Monk, that boy,
Oh yeah,
what I see him doing track. That boy jumped like a gazelle, bro. Like he really got bunnies like that. And I wish, I wish he used the bunnies on the basketball court. But he's good at what he do, man. As far as long jump, triple jump, high jump, um, his job's not finished. Devin Jones, like I said, he's getting calls for football, but he also he just made states in shot put last year as far as track goes. You know what I mean? This ain't the end of the road for a lot of them boys. And I know Deshaun's gonna play basketball this year. He come
yeah,
from good stock. I know his daddy, Big Rod out there, Mr. Rodriguez Carr. I know his people out there. It's not the end of the road for them, man. So when I saw the emotions and stuff at the end of the game, man, it hits me. Cause you like sometimes you don't know if that's your last game that you played or not. You know what I mean? That uncertainty, that moment of limbo right there was like, did I just play my last down of football? But they have nothing to hang their heads on because they really had a chance on that last drive. They were marching. They had switched the momentum a little bit. Seemed like the air had got taken out of Hopkins sales towards those last couple of drives in the fourth quarter. And even with just 2 minutes left, Burrow Strickland, he was kind of trying to pull some Tom Brady type stuff, that fourth quarter, that fourth quarter quarterback stuff. But he rolled right, and he only had one receiver to go to, and Reggie Thompson was guarding him. And I was like, Reggie still, he was the number one receiver in the state last year. Let's not forget. He may be out here playing corner, but he know how to catch that ball. And that's what he
yeah.
did. But but it was a solid game, man. And it was good to see the turnout from people coming from Lakewood or Hopkins and the stands being full like that. I wish every game could look like that, man, because people don't understand how much that does for them children on the sideline. Them jokers, as much as they told to be like focus on the field, focus on the field. Them kids is looking back to see where mama and dad at. Them kids trying to see if uncle grandma
Yeah,
came through. You know what I mean? That's just human nature. You gonna look into the stands and see who showed up, who out here coming to support. And when they see that support out there, that makes them move just a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. It makes them want it a little bit more when they see that support in them, bro. And I was very proud of
that's
that
what
support.
that's what I always talk about, man. Like it'd be times when I've watched on the home side and I look across on the visitor side, and you only see, 5, 6 guys out, people in the stands. And I'm like, it makes me kind of feel down and feel, I'm like,
Right,
man, so I can only imagine how, the players feel.
right.
So yeah, definitely, it don't matter what your team's record is, man. Show up, man. Show up for them kids, especially, especially in times like this, playoff times. We probably won't talk too much about it, but man, East Columbus is a program that we've talked about before being,
Yes.
being down, and they hit a big milestone here last night. I mean, when was the last time East Columbus has made it to the third round in the else? I understand it's 1A, and 1A is a little bit more down,
It don't
with
matter.
the new classification, but still, it's still a third round trip, and they have to make a 6 hour trip to Robbinsville Friday.
Mhm.
6 hours because they
It's
placed them in the
crazy.
West, so they're playing in the western side of the bracket. So yeah, that's crazy. So I mean, if you're a Columbus, you don't even have to be East Columbus, because I mean, bro, I think the rest of the Columbus County schools are pretty much out. I think 'cause I think South Columbus and Whiteville both lost this past Friday.
Yeah.
So if you're a
So who
Columbus
else you
County
rooting for?
football fan, go out there, take the route there and support them kids, man, because
Yes,
that's
sir.
a long trip. And I mean, those guys need those kids, man. Because like I said, when was the last time we talked about East Columbus being in the third round of the playoffs?
Right. Bro, I just witnessed this on Thursday at Clinton's game. I saw Union's coach, Lakewood's coach, and the coach from Hopton all coming to Clinton to watch their soccer game. To come watch the soccer game. That's unity. That's community
Yeah,
supporting community, bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why
Keep
not
it, keep it. You got to
support?
represent your county, man.
Yes.
Got to represent your county.
When one wins, we all win. You understand? And I think
Oh
like
yeah,
we get so wrapped up, with our intermediate, rivalries and stuff that sometimes that gets dismissed. But when one of us can make it, that draws eyes to the county, and people gonna be like, well, maybe I need to go scout down there. Maybe I need to see what kind of talents down there. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
They doing something. There's something in the water down there. Let me go down there and check that out. So I mean, why not? Why not support each other? And then I gotta give a shout out to Union. While we on the subject, man, even though they got blank 50-0 today, man, them Jokers won their first playoff game under Coach Oates' regime last week when they were down 20 points. And Tobias Cromartie put up 318 yards for 4 touchdowns. And it wasn't just on him. Them big fellas had to do something to get him
oh yeah,
a glimmer of light, some type of space and all stuff. And the defense had to hold them from scoring any more points than what they did in that second half. Because in the first half it was 20-0, and I want to say like the final score was 27-26, something like that. But for
yeah. It
them
was yeah. I think it was like 28-26,
to get a playoff
something
win,
like that.
bro, that's
Yeah,
the
that's big.
that's that
That's
step by
big.
step, man. That's that step by step. And then like East Bladen,
Yeah,
who they lost to on Friday, that was a face that they had already seen before. You know what I mean? So they
yeah. It's,
they
it's always
had
tough when you got to play a conference opponent in the playoffs. The familiarities there. They pretty much they got the film on you. That's always a tough matchup, man.
all right, man. We do gotta acknowledge these comments out here, man, because the comments are coming. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Got to show the comment
we gotta
section some
show the
love.
conversation of love, and I appreciate y'all joining and rocking with us on this Saturday morning, man, because I know it's been a minute, man. We be busy, baby. I mean, you seen sometimes it's hard. It's hard
Yeah,
out here.
yeah. Look, yeah. It's Saturday morning for y'all, but it's Saturday evening for me, and
He
I'm
getting ready for
so
bed in a minute.
I'm getting ready for bed, man. I'm tired.
Gibson Kennels, St. Paul, 71st, Jack Britt, rep the 910, baby. I mean, Honda repping the 910 too. What you mean? But we all with it though.
Yeah, we all in it.
We all with it.
You
What
still
up?
got Hoggard in it, Cape Fear.
Yes, they all
Uh,
910 too. They all 910
yeah, they
too.
all 910.
All right. We got Dalton Wilson. How about East Bladen 50-0? Come on, man. You ain't gotta be like that, bro. Um, my boy BB, what a Friday night indeed. KM Visions. Midway didn't have a chance with Kinston. I'm sorry, they too dominant. Man, we'll talk. We'll get in that later, man. We'll get in that later. BB said that Hopkins
hey,
coach came in way
hey,
behind
look,
the ball and shocked
Kinston.
everyone. Congratulations,
Well,
coach.
we'll get into it, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, that was my next game to get into after I get through these comments. You want to say something now? If you want to get into it, let's get into it. All right, we'll get into at least. Let's get through these comments, man. St. Paul's Bulldogs running back Joshua McBride had 382 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, moving him third all-time rusher in Robeson County High School history. That's a hell of a feat. That is a hell of a feat. 382 rushing yards, 5 tutties. That's tough. Devon Van said, "Got to believe in your team. Respect." I don't think Havelock win was an upset because they the number 12 seed. I mean, when you in those teams, those are one of those any given Friday moments, man. When you in them teams, it's at any given Friday moment. BB said, flimsy cultures and poor coaching and complacency will be exposed come playoff time, if not beforehand. Is BB throwing shot? Oh, hold on. BB sound like you throwing. Come on now, man. Oh, man, you gotta relax. Mr. Jeff Deal, shout out to you. Top of the morning to you, sir. KU Visions, you completely right. And that's why a lot of upsets happened last night because of poor coaching, not going to call no schools out. I'm going to keep it professional. Oh, man.
Oh
People
man,
who got those.
you gotta elaborate. Who we talking about here?
He said, I ain't going to say no name. Man, they.
Hey, look,
Oh, man.
I got a lot of hate mail for calling out poor culture and some spotty coaching, but we're not gonna get into that one.
Man. Boy, it got
We can take it
personal,
there.
personal. You
We
got
can take it there.
personal.
Oh man, hey, look, when it's your school, it gets a little personal because you hate to see the potential. You hate to see wasted potential
Yeah.
on, but yeah, like I said, I ain't getting into that, man. They ain't ready for that conversation.
We'll say that for the off season.
Oh yeah. Hopefully some changes get made in the offseason.
We'll see. We'll- Our sponsor, Mr. Austin Brinkley himself, said, "Where the Tigers at?" All right, good. You know what? Austin, I gotta admit, he hit me up almost daily about them daggone Tigers, man. He is a devout JK fan. He all about them Tigers, and he truly feel like they can go all the way, man.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
I don't see why they
I think
can't.
definitely up there, man. They definitely one of the favorites to that 3-8 East is a gauntlet, man. It's been we got some fun matchups coming up this Friday, man. I'm really looking forward to checking out.
Facts. That leads into the next comment. Mr. Charles Williams said there will be a lot of upsets next week. Shout out, Mr. Charles, man. Longtime supporter of the
Hey,
pod,
well, hold
man.
up, man. Is that the same? Is that St. Paul's Charles?
He has finally shown his face.
Hey, look now, look. He
We
been
needed you to
hiding.
come to the
Look,
congregation.
man, look. It's been about 3-4 weeks, man. We've been looking for you since that dang St. Paul's and 71st game. Now you come popping up.
He thought we forgot
He want to say,
about him.
I'm gonna see if they forget. He said, I'm gonna see if they forget first,
Yeah.
then I'll come back. We ain't
He
forget. We ain't
he thought we
forget.
just breezed past it, like we just
Man,
swept it
look,
under
boy,
the
that's why I
rug.
looked. I said, hold up, I know they ain't the same Charles Williams now.
Nah, that's him.
Shout out Mr.
That's him.
Charles.
Mrs. Charles, big shout out. But you gotta come before the congregation because we said this
Yeah,
preseason,
we
big,
ain't
before the
forgot.
season started. We
I ain't
ain't
forget
forgot.
now.
We ain't forgot. Um,
Man, yeah, we still need you to report to the front of the congregation, give your explanation.
now, Mr. Charles did say something that I had a conversation with a couple of people in the audience last night. Said Tarboro should be a 5A or a 6A or a 7A team. They need to play tougher teams. 10 straight championship game visits is crazy.
Hey,
Um,
look,
we've
look
had
at
this
that. Look,
conversation before.
we can't talk about them not playing tougher teams. Check out their non-conference schedule. They played up their entire
Facts.
non-conference schedule.
That is true.
And look, the ADM number is what the ADM number is. I mean, so
Right.
they where they
It's
supposed to be
they
at.
do not go off of your talent. Well, I think we've expressed this multiple
We
times
talked about
on
that
this
before,
platform.
man. A lot, but
They do not
what
go
was I
off of
talking
talent.
about?
They go off the populace of the school.
What was I talking about before when I finally got back on? I talked about Tarbros. That's not just a football team. That's what we
That's a
call a
program.
program.
Yeah.
That's a program. Those guys, it's an expectation. There's a standard, and it's like I feel like those kids, like they're held to a higher standard as soon as they hit the hole. As soon as they start playing football properly, that probably go all the way down to pee wee football, man. That's what you call
That's a
that's what
pipeline.
you call
That's a
culture.
pipeline.
That's what you call culture. So when they're you can't be mad at them for doing what they do. I mean, like I said, man, I would love to, and we got to add Tarboro to like our pool of teams next season. I would love to get Coach Craddock up here and just hear him talk about
Yeah.
how he's built this thing from the ground up, man. Because
It
like I
wasn't
said, man,
always
you
like
look at
that.
that type of consistency, especially at a smaller school. We've seen it before with like Charlotte Independence, but that bigger school in the Charlotte area, you can see stuff like that. But to see that at the smaller classification, that type of consistency. When's the last time we seen a 3A to 1A team, with that type of consistent 10? Like I said, they will go if they go
10.
this year. That will be 10 straight state
10.
championship appearances. 10. so
I was
so I
about to
mean
say
that's just
Clinton.
it's a
I was about to say Clinton, but then when you brought up that 10, it was like, nah, we ain't do that.
I mean,
That's different.
back in the day, Clint went to what shoot over like a 15-year span. We went to maybe I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head right now. But I mean we but I'm talking about just
But
going there
when
every
you say
year.
back in the day, what's back in the day though?
1990 through 2006, Clinton went to the state championship a lot.
Yeah,
Well, you got to
y'all
think
frequented y'all
nineteen
frequented
ninety,
quite a bit.
94, 95, 96, 97. 2001, 2002, 2005, and 2006. That's nine trips in 15 years. So that's, but we weren't going every single year. You know what I'm saying?
That do sound dynasty like though. People consider Patriots a dynasty because they went so much in that type of time span. So
Yeah.
that do sound kind of like dynasty like. Um, a couple
I mean,
more comments in here, man. Patrick Henry talking about them Pender Patriots. Yeah.
Pender did that
If
thing. Pender did that thing.
people who have not been watching the pod, just know I have a personal animus against Pender County.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like to talk about them too much. I don't like to talk about. I let anybody else talk about. All that time, I got PTSD, man. They shut off the lights, man. And then I found out it's because the game lasted so long. Like it was their town ordinance to shut off lights at 11 o'clock. So like no matter what was going on past 11, lights is getting shut off. So it's not like they just shut them out on us to force us to go home. It's just the game lasted entirely too long.
Yeah,
And it was they were doing town ordinance. That's
out there
crazy
playing
work though.
basketball.
All right, you score, we're gonna score. Or you score, we're about to
Mm,
score. One hit
mm.
quitters all over the field. Um, let's see. Miss Carla McKinney. She said East Duplin, y'all. Okay.
Hey,
I
look, East
see you.
Duplin just
That's
quiet. East Duplin just quietly treading along, doing their
like a
thing.
like a thief in the night.
It, like I said, y'all ain't. It said everybody, because of course when the brackets came out, everyone looked and said, okay, oh dang, Reedsville, in the East, or blah blah blah. But hey, East Duplin, like, all right, we ain't worried about. We still doing our thing. So shout out to East Duplin.
They did get Clinton.
Who's that?
East Duplin, right? Then East Duplin get Clinton.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Was
yeah,
that
yeah.
21-14?
20 to 13. Hey, we stuck with
Shout.
them though. We stuck with them for we gave them a game though.
We did. We did. We did. And I was there. I covered that game. That was our game of the week that
Yeah, yeah.
week,
We
man.
gave them a game. Like I
I can
said,
I can I
coaching,
can give some
coaching,
pointers on
coaching.
that.
Took the forefront in the second half. So you know,
One thing I want to say while I'm thinking about that, bro, can we please stop expecting these quarterbacks to roll the opposite way of their throwing hand and to complete that pass? I know it's a surprise. It'll be a shock to the defense if it happens and it gets completed. But that's a pro throw, man. If you right-handed
have to
rolling
roll
to the
and throw
left,
across your body like that.
and this ain't just at Clinton, this ain't just at Hopkins. I've seen it at multiple schools now, where they're trying to use that element of surprise, like, oh, they'll never see this coming. That's a pro throw, man. And then even
Mm.
when you're doing it at practice, they're wearing their little red jerseys, yellow jerseys, black jerseys, whatever to say, oh, don't hit me, don't touch me. That's not applicable in real time fashion. When they are rolling the opposite way of the hand, and I can say this because I did play QB at Northern Vance, okay? So I don't want nobody to say nothing about that. I've been there, done it. When you rolling that opposite way, trying to throw a cross body, and you got pressure breathing down your neck, and then you mad because he threw a pick, that's a pro throw. Like even people in college and pros throw picks in that situation. That's a pro throw. Oh, don't if you want to do a real rollout, why not roll out to their strong hand instead of have them throwing cross body? You have to practice that move like thousands of hours in order to completely perfect that and have it on precision with pressure breathing down your neck. I understand trying to bring up that element of surprise and whatnot, but that's a tough throw to ask of a high school student, man. And I
Yeah,
seen it too
definitely.
many times this season,
Too many times.
and that was
Well,
one
well,
thing.
while we talk about pet peeves, I don't like it when teams run like outside speed plays to the short side of the field. I don't like that. I'm like, you ain't got enough room, brother. Man, the sidelines another extra defender. Man, run that to the wide side. But same thing. But hey, they ain't expecting this. Let's do this. I don't know.
you
Y'all don't
telling
mind me,
you
man. Don't mind me. I'm tired, y'all.
man,
Oh snap, we lost. Oh look, now it's coach having the
who's
connection
connection?
issue. Well, we
Now they
keep on.
talking about me
Well,
losing
while we wait to
connection.
get him back, I'll keep on going through the comments. Oh, he back.
Man, it's the powers that be, man. They don't want us talking about this.
They like, oh, shut it
No,
down. What
shut
he say
it
about
down.
what he say about rolling to the opposite side, man? Shut that screen down.
Man, shut it down. Shut it down. Chris, go ahead. Take over for a minute. I'll be right back, bro.
I got you, man. Keep on going through these comments here. See where we left off at.
Hey,
Charles Williams said, just imagine Tarboro
I
playing
will. I
71st
will.
Scotland and Millbrook. I mean, but you talking about a school with what uh, a school with Tarboro's numbers playing, a bigger school. Yeah, of course that's going to be issue. Then you get to those schools like Millbrook and like Durham, Jordan, and Roseville, and they got I mean, multiple D1 athletes on both sides of the ball. No one's playing both sides. No one's going both ways. Yeah, eventually, I think a good, 2A, 3A could stick with a higher level school like that for a couple of quarters. But I mean, eventually they'll start to wear down. But I still don't see no reason for Tarboro to have to play up. I mean, that's where they're still their place. That's what their ADM number is the exact same as the up. I mean, ain't no huge difference. They're not one of the bigger 2A schools. So like I said, they're where they're supposed to be at. Like I said, you got to give hats off to Coach Craddock and what he's built out there. They doing their thing. It's a football factory, man. Jeff Dill said Wallace Rose Hill won four straight, including three at 1A and one in the fourth in the 2A with first year head coach. Yes, sir. I definitely remember, but I'm talking about a decades worth of just going to state championships. I haven't seen another smaller classification school do that. The most we'll see maybe 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. But go to 10, have a chance to go to 10 straight state championships. That's crazy. Charles said just like Richmond Raiders back in the day. Yeah, same. But I'm talking about as far as we talking about smaller classification schools. Monk, Country Boy Usher said North Duplin Rebels. Yes, sir. They're having an outstanding season. Shout out to the young man, one of my favorite players
Let
out
me
there
say
that way.
this though,
Number
while you talk about
number
those
21,
Rebels, I
Carell
saw it
Phillips.
coming in. Carell Phillips is a dog, but I have to bring this up, though. If we would have won that last week, who do you think would have been facing Tarboro next week?
Uh, I mean, it just depends on how the seeding would have ended up being. So it probably would have, some things would have got switched around. Honestly, I can't tell you because the way those brackets kind of came out, it was still some questions. Not so much as with the 2A bracket, but I had some questions about the 3A.
Oh, there was some questions
Yeah,
with the 2A bracket. I talked with
yeah,
the head of the Booster Club over there last night, man, and he was like, "What was the algorithm? What's the standard?"
I,
I mean, y'all preach this
man,
RPI stuff, and then when you look at
yeah,
the bracket, you
I
got
don't think
teams that didn't even
yeah,
deserve a bye getting a bye.
yeah,
Talking about there wasn't enough
I
teams
don't,
to compete and all this other stuff, man. Math ain't mathing.
yeah. Hey, real quick shout out to Tavar Stan. He look that's he and Tavar. He can probably tell you better than me about just that standard that's been built out there at Tarboro, man. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? People could say what they want about it, and think they doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. Nah, this is the football factory, man. You could tell that stuff is like ingrained in them. And it's gonna be a tough road for, like I said, it's gonna be a tough road for anybody that got to go in there this year. This is the thing that got me. Like back in August, someone said, "Look, you remember that Tarboro team we was talking about last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that team that just ran through everybody in the playoffs. Well, guess what? This team this year is better." I said, well, my mom made up right then and there. I said, all right, cool. You ain't got to say less because that's scary to think about. Think about how good that team was
Yeah.
last year. This team's
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
in the eyes of the true Tarboro fans. And I'm going off what they talking to me about. You know what I'm saying? Because they know better than me. So I ain't got nothing to take their word for. But based off what I've seen, man, Like I said, I don't want to upset nobody from Hopkins. Like, and a couple people from East Bladen got upset with me because one of the posts, a post on one of the other pages had said, "Hey, who do you got? Who has a chance to beat Tarboro this year?" I stood up and said, "Hey, what? Remember that Keith Sweat song, Nobody?"
Nobody.
Hey, look, and I ain't like I said, I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing. I
Hey,
understand, but I'm
Hopkins,
saying,
man, what
look,
you mean? Hopkins
hey,
got a
look, I ain't
chance,
trying to hurt
man.
nobody's feelings, man. But it's like I
He got a
said, it's
chance.
gonna take a lot to go wrong for that team to the team to slip up, man.
And who knows? It could
You
happen,
like I said,
man,
it's gonna
any
take a
given
lot to go
Friday, man.
wrong. You have to just like I talked about them last year. I think we were in a deep discussion about the Tarboro Pender playoff game last year,
Yeah,
and I said the
yeah.
same thing. I said, look, I know what Tarboro brings to the table. They're going to have to play a horrible game, and Pender's going to have to play perfect for the upset to happen. And of course, that didn't happen. So I'm gonna say the same thing about this upcoming Friday. Hopkins got to play perfect football and hope Tarboro makes some mistakes, but I just don't see it happening, man. No disrespect. Like I said, I gave Hopkins their flowers. I gave Coach Scross's flowers. I think he's doing a tremendous job, and
Mm.
you know they definitely got a chance in the future. But if you're going to beat Tarboro, I think next year is going to be the year to do it because I think
Yeah.
they're going to be pretty young next year. But I just don't see it happening this year, man.
Hey, yo, and to Patrick Henry, talking about 106 points, bro. Get over it. I'm bumping you, dog. I don't want you blocked from the chat. Nobody want to talk to you. I didn't want to talk to you no more, bro. I don't
Them
want to hear
boys,
nothing from you,
them
man.
boys out there playing basketball. What?
Well, let's get into yeah, man. Like I said, I'm over it. It give me PTSD sometimes, man. Anytime I hear that name, it's like Candyman type shit. We gotta bring up Kinston versus Midway, man. I had talked to Sloan earlier
Whew.
yesterday, man. Um, two very high powered offenses. Tanner Williams had been playing lights out. Midway's offense had been playing lights out, but we knew that this was going to be a matter of who made the least amount of mistakes and who could put more points on the board. And Kinston came in down at the Thomas Sloan Stadium and they edged the Raiders 34-13, man. But when I'm looking at the numbers, it wasn't the crazy type of numbers you thought that you was gonna see from those D1 receivers. It was Genesis Wiggins on the ground, 10 carries for 121 yards. And in Kinston's defense, with a lot of people saying that Kinston's defense wasn't really like that, um, they kind of contained Midway to 87 passing yards and 155 rushing yards. So it kind of appears, at least by the box score. Um, my buddy Dan Barefoot, he's the one that's going to be covering that article for me in the paper. But from what I'm just seeing on the box score, it looks like Kansas defense actually showed up to play.
Yeah. I made a post earlier talking about the most dangerous teams right now are the teams that are peaking at the right time,
Mm,
and Kinston's starting to peak. And we already knew how dangerous that offense is, but now they're starting to, show a little bit more all around game. And I think, and we'll go back to their regular season, finale, that game against Tarboro in the second half. Something, something woke up.
mm,
And when I talk about team peaking, that peak doesn't always begin with a win. Just you playing as well as they did in the second half against a team that we just talked about in Tarboro.
mm.
You got to think about the confidence that some of those guys got from that. You know what I'm saying? And it's starting. You can see it carrying over here to the playoffs. We talk about a team. The most dangerous teams are peaking right now. Kinston's peaking, so definitely be on the lookout for them. Man, Tyreek Copper. I mean, I saw his 70-yard punt return for a touchdown last night. Just outstanding athlete, man. looked at one of the pictures that Trey Scott from News had posted. Looked like, man, they had triple coverage on my man last night, trying to slow him down.
Yeah,
Man, that's how dangerous that kid is, and I can't talk about the wide receiver without talking about the quarterback, Tyler Jones. He's been playing, awesome lately, and we talk about my Bucks Sports Player of the Year nominees, and I want to zero in on one for each school. But with Kinston, man, it's gonna be it's tough, man, because of course, Copper's that guy, but you can't ignore the man that's delivering the ball to him. And Tyler Jones is
that's
having an
true.
outstanding season as well. One of the leaders in the state in passing right now. So it's gonna be tough when it comes down. But that Kinston team's dangerous, man. Just to, but no shame for Midway. Nothing to hang your heads about, man. Y'all had an outstanding season. Just didn't just couldn't come up or just couldn't bring it out. And actually, for that, I thought that game was going to be more of a shootout. I was
That's what I
talking
thought
about
too.
betting the over, but it actually was not to me. Not as I thought it was going to be a race to 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But definitely didn't turn out to be the shootout that we expect. But that Kissing team's real dangerous right now, man.
and despite Tyler and Copper, I mean, Genesis is the one that really carried that game. Yeah, he led the team in rushing and he led the team in receiving. As far as
Uh,
yards go.
Hey, you
So
got to give a shout out to whoever. I don't know if coach, their head coach is their play caller, but they schemed it up real well because like I said, they got triple coverage on one man out here.
yeah,
Of course, that's going open up some rushing lanes, and they say, okay, you're gonna try to you're gonna try to take this away, or we'll hit you with the run. Then and it was a gamble that worked. That's why I said, man, matchups and coaching
yeah,
big factors in the
man,
playoffs, man.
they
You
matter a
can't
lot.
you can shoot at this point in the season. Everyone's good, man. You got to scheme some stuff up. If you got a coach that ain't hitting on nothing, it's gonna be you can have all the athletes you want, but it's hard to get it done, man.
Facts. Um, just looking at the numbers, Tanner threw 8 for 22 for 87 yards in the interception. Tyler Jones threw 13 for 18 for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns in the interception. Um, Tanner hasn't had a game like that in a long time. Like this is coming from a kid that's had over 20 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions coming into this game.
Shout out to
He
Kinston's
has
defense,
he
man,
has
stepping
he
up.
has been by far the best quarterback in Sampson County coming in and hearing that hoopla about Kinston's defense being susceptible. They button up. They button up Friday night. But the good thing,
Yeah,
looking at as far as Midway go, they are losing a good amount of seniors, but they also have a good amount of talent that's returning. Tanner's only a junior, and I got to go see Wesley yesterday. His brother has just signed and committed to a Mount Olive baseball, and I never put two and two together. No pun intended, because their last name is Two. But he's like double the size of his brother that just signed to Mount Olive. Like Wesley's a big boy, and he's only a sophomore.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they
That
have
kid,
him coming
he's a
back.
unit.
They got Nathan coming back. Um, they got pieces that's coming back. Registers
Oh
coming
yeah,
back.
big John Williams. He'll be back.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, though they're losing seniors like Holland and Jeremiah and whatnot, and Stocks, they they still have pieces to build upon. So it's not like this is like, oh my God, this was all in this year and nothing going forward. They still have pieces going forward. It's just that I think if they would have picked a different draw other than Kinston, they would be playing into the third round. It's just Kinston had that type of firepower as opposed to Midway's trying to recoup from some injuries that happened earlier on in the season. They were dealing with some injuries going into Friday night game as well. But like I said, I was expecting to see a basketball score out of this game, but I
Yeah.
think somebody put some bulletin board material up there and said, "Oh, they think it's sweet. You think we're gonna just give up these amount of points?" Kansas defense showed up, but but this ain't the last that we're gonna hear about Midway for sure. I think they're gonna come back next year with the same type of fire.
Oh yeah.
Any other thoughts? Let's check the comments before we move on about this Midway Kinston matchup. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody that says something. Kinston they even use their main weapons at all. Okay, humble brag. That's what you think. I love couch quarterbacks, man. Couch
What's up?
quarterbacks are always. I say I like
Oh.
couch quarterbacks. Like they in the coach's room. All right. So we'll move on to our next game, which was another local heartbreaker. The Dark Horses had to travel to High Point to face T.W. Andrews. And Coach Boykin said that's where he got his coaching teeth broke in. He said that's where it all started. So he's familiar with those Red Raiders, man. You know, it looks like TW got up early in that first half and went up 22-3 and just kind of sat on it and came back out of the second half, put another 14 points up in the third, and it was nothing else that the Dark Horses could do about it.
Yeah, I was checking out the game, listening to the play-by-play for Coach Savo for the radio station, and
Mhm.
basically what he was breaking talking about basically was that was probably the most athletic team that Clint's seen this year, and we just Clint couldn't match their team speed from what he described it, and I mean, everyone know if you're a local from around here, Coach Savo has forgotten more about football than most of us know. So when he was,
Facts.
so you gotta really go with what he's taught. He breaks down the games really well. That's why I enjoy listening to him do the play by play. But yeah, basically just they out athleted us. Took away a lot of the stuff that we like to do as far as in the passing game. Said their DBs were, sticking to our guys. Really Jonah Bull really couldn't shake loose until the second half. He was able to get a couple scores in the second half, but yeah, yeah, just out athleted us, and yeah, just a tough way to end the season for Clinton. You like to see that they kind of had a lot of fight in them this year, a lot of potential. You think back to all those close losses, and hope you go back and think you win those games, you see it differently. You're going in a different direction, and you know hopefully something else could shake loose. But yeah, it just didn't work out for us. Tough, I hate to see guys like Jaden Williams playing their last football game for Clinton. That's tough, man. It seemed like he's been here for years, man. He pretty much was hit the field as a freshman and stayed on varsity throughout our playoff run that year. And he's been a constant for in that Clinton defense. So it's gonna be tough seeing him go and a couple other seniors, but a lot to look forward to if you're a Dark Horse fan, man. You got a lot of firepower coming back on that offense next season.
Mhm.
Hopefully, some other changes that will be made that could, hopefully benefit the team, so we could, turn a lot of those close losses into to wins next season. But
What kind of changes,
um,
Mr.
you
Harris?
know, uh, if you
I
know me,
didn't
you
play
know
with.
my
I play
opinion, man.
with you. I play with you.
So
I
y'all,
play with.
like I said, man,
Play.
people,
I play
I
with
still a lot of people still ain't ready for that type of conversation. But well, I mean, I've talked about it throughout these playoffs here. I said, look, matchups matter, and scheming matters, and you gotta have a coach to scheme stuff up, man, and you know stuff. A lot of little small things that you don't really worry about in the regular season, like time management. I mean, it's what 3 seconds into the second quarter, and all your timeouts are gone. That's that's not that's something, that's not the type of stuff you want to see, But I'm not gonna get into all that. But yeah, like I said, it's still a lot to look forward to. And congratulations to High Point Andrews, man. They're moving on. They got a tough one next week, taking on a really good West Craven team. So
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to check them out because, like I said, they do from what I was hearing, man. They got a lot of good athletes, man. That could be a sleeper team coming in the 4A East.
yeah, for sure. I think that along with your sentiments, man, my heart hurts for Jaden, man. And the other seniors, they've had to go through a roller coaster, to say the absolute least. And it seemed like throughout the second half of the season, they were kind of hitting a groove. Um, Other than the East Duplin loss, it seemed like everything was on a good trajectory. And even that East Duplin loss, I mean, I think
Yeah, I
how
mean,
many games? It was like four or five games that was lost
man,
by a single possession.
in,
Games that
in the
could have
second
easily
half,
been W's.
games we led, games we had to lead in the second half, and just couldn't finish.
So I mean, the trajectory of the season could have definitely been different. Um, as from me on the outside looking in, I can't say too much as far as regarding culture and game planning and all the stuff. Just witnessing the games that I was able to cover and recapping. Trajectory definitely could have been different, but they still have a young squad though. Um, they're not losing a great deal of seniors. They're losing some key pieces as
Yeah,
seniors, but
definitely some key pieces.
when you see what's coming out of the middle schools and what's coming out of that JV, who just won the county JV championship as well, that shows that there's a good pipeline of talent that's coming into the program. I mean, it got the middle school has won the championship for 2 years back to back, and the JV just won the championship. That's a sign of optimism regarding the youth of what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But uh, I said, like, coach had to step away real quick. I'll head back to some of these comments real quick. Oh, he's about to come. Okay. Uh, he's back.
My bad.
No,
Hey,
you
look,
good, man?
man. Hey, look. We you got 5 kids. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta regulate. Like,
Hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
well,
hey.
hey, hey.
Oh
Hey,
man.
hey, what Kevin Hart say? You better not be in that toilet. Hey, what y'all doing right now? You better not be in that toilet.
Oh man.
Life be life, man. Um, yeah, let's go through the comments before I get into this next game because there's one team that we have to mention that I don't think we've mentioned at all this season, and I gotta put it out there. But let's get through some of these
He's.
comments though. I hear a whole lot of hypotheticals right now about what if Tarboro faced Kist.
I mean, well, they played. I mean, they're in the same conference, so they played each other that regular season finale. But yeah, they're not in the same bracket. So I mean, they're not in. Kinston's a 3A, Tarbell's 2A.
Talk to your
So
NCHSAA representatives because I'm gonna be honest with you. This crap is all topsy turvy to me. Like when I was covering the soccer games in the soccer tournament, and I'm seeing 3A teams playing 2A teams in the conference tournament. I'm like, bro, what's happening right now? You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
because because
what is
they
this
well,
slash thing? This
there's so many
slash? I don't
all these when
understand.
they made when they moved up to these 8 classifications, it's a lot of split conferences. So
You
you
spread
you you
yourself too
have like some
thin.
conferences. You'll have some conferences that have a 5A, a 4A, and a 3A. So I mean it's tough. Yeah, it'll take a greater mind than me to kind of break down their reasoning and
Nobody
why they did what
understands
they
it,
did.
man.
What I thought was, and I don't know if you want to talk about this later on. I thought by them doing this that will get more of course you want more competitive playoff games, but
Mhm.
you think, well, why didn't they just, instead of giving all these buys, why didn't they just make the playoffs like one round less and then just cut out some of the teams that were in there? I mean, that's what I was, but I mean,
No, because
like
it ain't
someone
no
said,
fun if
man,
everybody can't have none.
like
If
like somebody said,
everybody can't
man,
have some, it ain't no fun. We
yeah, it's
want
some
some
money.
of
Cause I
the
was like, why are we
money.
get so many buys? I'm like, well, hell, you could have just cut one round out and forget all those bye weeks. But how do you feel about the bye weeks? Do you feel like it negatively affected? Did there any teams on the bye lose, like get up? Well, Midway got upset, so technically seeding wise, so they were on the kiss. So I
And I
don't
don't
know
want
if
to
it
say
affected
no
anybody.
names, but there was two teams that had a bye and they played each other in the second round. Tell me how that
Yeah,
worked out.
that's about, yeah. The Lakewood and Hopkins, both of them had buys, so I don't know. I like I said, I don't know what the thought
The
process
math's
was,
not
but
mathing, man. The math's not mathing. Um, like I said, I
but
talked to somebody from the Booster Club last night, and it's all mind boggling to me right now, man. It's even more confusing than the college football committee, but how they come up with their brackets. They kept preaching RPI, 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 and now that it comes to this time, you draw these brackets. So whether you having two teams that both had first round buys facing a number one seed in the third round, I want to know
yeah,
the
no.
logistics behind this. I want to kind of get some rationale. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know if it's Miss Rhonda or who from NCHSAA, like who's in control of this. And then the prep schools, the academies. I thought, and this is my ignorance for assuming, because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. I thought that all the prep schools and the academies would be in their own conference, but yet you
Well,
still have
a lot of people feel like that, especially when you get the teams like especially basketball season, because you'll see a lot,
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
those, prep schools and academies in basketball season. It's not even fair sometimes, but
And
yeah, I don't
soccer,
know.
and soccer and
I don't
baseball. It's
know.
the same. It's the same with soccer and baseball. That's what them kids do all year round. They play
But I feel like
travel
if you
ball
don't
this
if it's
season.
a different set of rules as far as how you get your athletes, then I don't think you should be like a prep school playing against a charter or prep school or whatever playing against a
Right,
regular public school. I mean, you got kids, you can get kids from all over. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
in public school, you got certain stipulations, especially in North Carolina. You got so many
Facts,
stipulations and stuff that
facts.
yeah, I
You
don't know,
look at
man. Like I
how,
said, man,
just for example, Hopkins District, and this is how Boss broke it down to me last night when I talked to him. He said Hopkins only has a 15-mile radius of the kids that they can pull from. But then you have a school like Voyager or Greystone Christian Academy or whatever, who are pulling from a 30-mile, 40-mile radius, but you're in the
mm,
same conference.
yes,
How do you
I
expect that to
don't.
be saying? Your pool is different. Your pool's
Yeah,
different.
that's why I said that
You have more to
if it's a
pull
whole
from.
difference.
If I'm only allowed to pull students from a 15-mile radius as opposed to your 30-mile, 40-mile radius, how much how many more opportunities do you have to pull from than I do?
Yeah, take a brighter mind than me to figure that out. I guess I don't know. I'm still
They
mad
need to be
about. I'm
their own
still
entity.
hell hell. I'm still mad about East Bladen JV and Hopkins JV not finishing the game.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not the person to. I'm like shoot.
That's because,
Uh,
man. Look, I already spoke about that, so I ain't gonna try to dig my ditch even deeper. Cause I already done heard. I don't know if you should have said that, but I said what I said. You know what I mean? Honestly, I gotta walk on eggshells a little bit here, but still, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I
Yeah,
think, like what boss told me last night, it's not gonna hit nobody until there's an actual congressman who has a child playing sports, who's actually participating in public school sports and gonna realize the inequity of private prep schools as opposed to public schools. Like,
yeah.
remember when Wilson Prep was in this division? Wilson Prep was the only equalizer to Tarboro, right?
Uh, I wouldn't
And
say equalizer.
not
I guess you could
equalizer,
say
but
they
they
could.
kind of tanked. That
They,
was the one
you
that
know,
tested their temperature more than
I guess
anybody else, though.
they can make them sweat a little bit. I guess,
Yeah, they
but
tested
still,
their temperature more than anybody else. And Wilson Prep did get them 1 year. I want to say in the past 3 years, Wilson Prep got them one time, if
I
I ain't
don't know about
mistaken.
that, man. I don't know. You might have to.
Oh, about
We might have to. We have to fact check you on that. Man. Hey, look,
yeah,
we
we're
got
gonna have
be
to.
careful now. The Turbo fans is in the comments, and they gonna let you know when you're
I see
wrong.
him. I see him. Hey, look, man, I donated all of my toys and my books when they got flooded by Hurricane Floyd. I got stock over there in Turnbro. You understand? I placed a lot of good good energy over there in Turnbro, so don't come for me. But
Hey,
we gonna do
the
some
boys,
fact checking.
hey,
We're
they
gonna
don't they don't
reconvene.
they don't play about them Vikings now, man. What they call them. They call that Valhalla. Y'all got to go to Valhalla Friday, boy. That's whew.
Valhalla is crazy, man. What's the
Yeah, they got
FBI
man.
director? That's what we on. We
Oh
doing the
yeah,
FBI
look,
director.
all the Sanford County better ride out there with Hopkins, man, because they they're they got some rowdy fans, man. So y'all they
Bro,
gonna need that support.
they trying to get me to go to Asheboro
Oof.
for the regionals game for soccer.
Uh,
I love covering Clinton soccer, man, because them boys, man, Coach Spell, those guys. I know this is a different type of football than what we're here to talk about, but Clinton soccer program that's a program, dog. For Coach Spell to have 400 wins
hey, look,
in
I
a
got no comment there because an individual had spread some slander about some of our guys covering games because he didn't like what I said. So I ain't got no comment on that.
all right, we'll leave it alone. We ain't even gonna talk about
Shout out to my boy Coach Brandon Mann out there at Union, man. Try to say we selling that we taking video and selling it, taking videotaping people's plays and selling it, calling other athletic directors
it.
crazy, man.
I remember that controversy.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember that now.
yeah. Hey, look, boy, we be well. Tell you, boy. Hey, look for a minute, man. Buck Sweet Sports was hated out there, but it's all good, man. Like I said, we raw, we real, we keep it unscripted. We ain't never gonna, everyone's entitled to their opinions about things, but we ain't gonna never spread no BS about somebody. So
That's some
some other
facts.
people could take some lessons from that.
These are
Uh,
facts.
oh, and real
Keep
quick,
the
while we on
main
the
thing the
subject,
main
man. Hey,
thing.
look, check out. We're only 103. Well,
You
oh,
break it
I
up
think I
on us a
lost
little bit.
connection. Hold up, might have lost connection.
Come back. Austin says that he's really hoping we get to see Kinston again in the Eastern Final. You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure you want that, Mr. Brinkley? Sean Lucas, shout out to you, man. Yes, we had a lot of great games last night. That is a for sure. You're right on. We had a lot of good games. Jose Meza, nah, James Keenan had a bye and beat a hot Wallace team off of a win. Maybe we just got caught lacking. Perhaps, perhaps. Welcome back, young man. What do you think about? What do you think about James Keenan? I mean, what's understood ain't got to be explained. I do like that hypothetical idea though about Kinston playing JK. That would be interesting. But we have to deal with the cards that are dealt though. You know, as much as I would love to play fantasy football with these high school teams, in the words of a wise man, if was a fifth, we'll all be having a good time, huh? Is there any other comments that we had missed? Oh no, it said if Kinston was playing Tarboro, that was the other hypothetical. I don't know. I think Tarboro's still giving the business, man. Like my colleague said, Tarboro is a program. It is a pipeline. They have those kids ready coming from rec to middle school to high school. That's a pipeline. When you got your varsity head coach looking at rec games to see what kind of kids are showing promise before they even go into middle school, that's a pipeline. That's a pipeline. And I think a lot of teams are trying to follow that model. Like I had mentioned earlier about Coach Scott saying he's excited about that opportunity to face Kinston is to show his team um what that looks like. And that's not him saying, "Oh, we're going to show up and we're going to get dominated." It's him to show them the difference of expectations, a difference between um, what you guys are used to and what you guys can become. That was my takeaway from the interview. Is him saying, "All right, y'all used to this, and maybe there'll be a couple of conversations, and you trying to run the same plays between the programs. But let me show y'all what." Y'all gonna see how these guys are different and how they're a well-oiled machine. And I think they can stand up to them. Austin says JK wants whoever in front of him, and that's Kinston. And if that's Kinston, we got a team that will go toe to toe. All right, make sure them DBs stretch them calf muscles out, man. Cause Kinston looking like they got a defense now. Oh, like I said, that caught me off guard. I did not. I expected to see a basketball score at the end of that game from Midway Kinston. And then there is a game that I wanted to bring up before we lost Chris. And we're still trying to get Chris back before we get off of this thing. Mr. Harris, is you with me?
Yeah. I'm with you, man. My bad.
Hey man, life be life, man. I already know. You across that pond, man. It's a different world over there.
Oh yeah. What I missed now?
We were just I was acknowledging some comments and whatnot, but these hypothetical dream matchups between Tarboro, Kinston and JK versus Kinston and who have you. Um, anybody can get it. I think anybody can get it. You want to throw a gauntlet
Yeah,
like that, but the law format is the way that it is for now. I don't see, and this ain't me trying to look in no crystal ball or whatever. This 8A is going to get condensed to six divisions probably within the next 5 6 years. Am I wrong for assuming that?
not really, man. I mean, I I feel like they can't come up with a perfect formula. I mean, there's always going to be some type of issue with it
Right.
one way or the other. We thought we were done with eight divisions, what a couple years ago, but here
Yeah.
we are. Who
Right.
knows? Who knows what's going to happen, man? I just we just gotta kind of just gotta roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? But it is some good football that's about to get played this Friday, man. Throughout all the divisions, so to it. But yeah, man, who knows what's going to happen.
Can we put the preps and the academies in one division, man? Because I feel like what it
I
is,
think I think
it's
that
almost
definitely
like
should
what
happen.
college football is doing, where college football wants to let Notre Dame and all these other teams be independent and they play whatever conference they want to play and they pick and choose, what conference they want to be a part of and what sport.
No,
If you want to keep this uniform by sport, put the preps by themselves and then go by your numbers and whatnot, man. I
yeah,
mean, I understand the numbers of the schools and whatnot, but like you have to also take into consideration the radius of the kids to that district. That needs to be taken into consideration even more so than the roster size of the actual school. Take into consideration the radius of the pool that each school has to pull from. If I can only pull
facts.
kids from these 20 miles, then I need to be competing with schools that's within these 20 miles. But you also have to look in the populace. And there's a way to make that algorithm work. There's a way to make it look to see
But I
how
guess
many
the
kids you have
I
and how
guess the
many kids
one
you're able to pull from.
I guess the back would be they'll argue about what about public schools that have different counties. There's different rules.
Yeah.
Like Robeson County's open enrollment, so you could. It doesn't matter where you live at. You can pretty much go to any school in the county. Other counties, other counties don't got that, so they'll argue stuff like that. I don't know. Like I said,
And
man,
Sampson
it's hard
County
to.
got some funky rules like that, bro. I'm learning because we're one of the few counties that have a county school system and a city school system. There's only like
Hmm.
10 city schools in the whole state. So we're
Yeah,
kind of like split up like that where there's certain exceptions and certain things that can be done and made that allow a county school student participate in city schools to be a student in city schools.
yeah,
I'm recently learning that. And I ain't gonna hold you. Keep
yeah,
playing around with me. I might throw a
yeah.
couple of
It's
mine to the city school. Y'all keep playing with me. But nah, that's neither here nor there. I'm joking. This is all jokes.
yeah,
But but like you just said,
but
different
yeah,
counties have different rules like that.
it's yeah. So it's tough to. That's what I said. That'll be their pushback as far as that. But no, I do agree with you, man. I feel like there should be just a separate division just for man. Your school ends in charter academy something like that. You need to be over here.
Yeah. Go over there. Collegiate. Go over here. Go over there, man. Y'all
Yeah,
have fun
you got
amongst yourselves.
if you got collegiate academy prep in your name, nah,
Yeah, go over
you
there, man.
ain't over here.
Go over there. Y'all have fun amongst yourselves, man. I
Oh
mean,
man,
and that's low key kind of like what Mints do, what Heralds do. And coming to Heralds, I don't think we've ever mentioned them on our podcast like that regarding that football program. They've had a very good football season, man. But unfortunately, Coach Coach Hall and their season has came to an end, facing High Point Christian Academy. Um, they took a loss 56-0 against them on Friday, so their season is now done. But they have some studs over there. There's this young man named Jeremiah Davis. He's my cousin, low key, no relation. But he's my cousin because my daddy people Davises. That boy been balling, man. He's a heck of a ball carrier. He plays both ways, and Heralds don't get that much of a spotlight like that regarding their football program. But prior to this game against High Point Christian, Heralds was all guns blazing. I think they only had one loss previously, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check and verify. No, they went 9-3 on the season. That this was their third loss. But Heralds have been balling in their respective conference. And Jeremiah Davis and there's another young man on that team. Make sure I get his name. They had another running back that was balling out. Deshaun McCoy was balling out. Gerard Miller, that's his name. Jeremiah Davis and Gerard Miller were the two gentlemen. And they're both junior and sophomores. Been balling out all year. They're gonna be able to come back and run it back next year as well. Just because they got blanked out Friday night in their playoff game. This is a very, very young team with their football squad where they can come back and run their respective conference over there in the what's it, the NCIH SAA, I want to say. See, they got a different dynamic over there, man. Well, when
Yeah,
you get out of the NCHSAA, I'm still learning this, but with it,
yeah.
with, it's different over there, man. It's different over there, man. But Coach Hall has been running that program very well. And then with the addition of my former colleague Josh Rackley, shout out to Coach Rackley. He's found his home and he's found his footing over there. Every time that I've seen him, the two football games that I've covered over there, he seems very happy over there. Um, I remember the love and the dedication that he poured into these Wildcats over here. But now that he's over there, his children go over there. He's um he's being appreciated over there. Not saying he wasn't being appreciated at Hopkins, but you know the stories are the stories and whatnot. But I'm very happy for Coach Rackley and what they're achieving over there, and I think they're going to do some big things next year. So next year, even though you guys are at the bottom of the ham leg of Sampson County, I hope y'all know that I try to do my due diligence to bring some attention down there because you guys deserve attention just as much as the rest of the Super Five, I guess, that's up here in the northern part of Sampson County.
Definitely. Hey, look, real quick, I was trying to say before I had got man. Like I said, we appreciate all the support from followers and everything since the page has started these last couple of years. Have an opportunity to hit another milestone coming up here, man. We're about 102, 103 followers away from hitting the 5K mark here on Facebook. So if you haven't done so already, please share the page. If you know anyone who's a high school football fan, and they may not even be exactly from the southeast part of North Carolina, but they're just football. I mean, man, shoot the page, man. Have everyone hit that follow button, man. We appreciate all the support. And maybe I could talk to the sponsors and see if we could do something special for top our top followers when we 5K mark. So definitely looking forward to that, man. But definitely appreciate all the support.
Most definitely, man. Hey, bro, you know what? Who I need to tap into? I met old boy last weekend. He came back home. Ethan Royal and Sean Pone Jr. was in the same building last Friday for the football game. Granted, that was the only football game that was going on in town because everybody had them buys and whatnot. But to see both of them boys at Dark Horse Stadium, it felt good, man.
Hey, look. A couple years ago, I had a dream. I was like, man, if we could, we get Ethan, and I knew PJ was leaving that area Lakewood or whatever. And I had a dream, man. I was like, man, we get yeah, PJ.
Man.
Oh my God.
Man. It would be crazy. It would be
Vegetables.
crazy.
But yeah, that was my dream. I even told old PJ's dad that laughing one time about it, man. But doing their things at their respective schools, man. Of course, 71st did that thing Friday night, coming away for 22-3 victory. They got a tough one this coming up Friday against Northern Nash.
No.
Of course, Ethan and Huff out there in Charlotte area, man. They're rolling, man. They're dominating every team they
He
play,
feeling his
man. They're
stride, man.
they're definitely looking poised for a state championship, and it's happy to see it, man. And it's another young man. It's another young man out of Sampson County that we don't talk about kickers a lot, man. But he kicked his freshman year for Clinton. Jacob Baggett.
Okay.
He another Division One offer from Kentucky. So shout out to him, man. Love to see these kids from our area, even though they move off, move to other schools and stuff, but they're still doing so. I'm was happy to see that as well.
Hey man, just because you leave the nest don't mean that we forget about you. You may leave the nest, but we still remember, man. The real
Oh yeah,
remembers,
oh
man.
yeah.
And and some people, as we've seen, they get jealous when they fly from the nest. They get jealous when they try to advance their lives and their
And
careers
I
and seek
and I
opportunities that cannot be provided down
I
here,
can't
man.
and I can't stand that, man.
Why would you be
Look,
jealous of them
that's the
seeking a better opportunity?
same. The same. I hate when people do that stuff, man. Because those the same kids that you rooted for years, you know. So why you gonna say, well, I'm not about him no more? Like, come on, bro. Like that's like I said,
That's
man.
trash.
I was disappointed when Ethan moved out there to Charlotte, but man, I watched that kid since he was in playing out there in Royal Lane, man. So
Right.
I had that. How would that look if I turned him down? So every time he does something good out there, man, I'm happy for him. I mean, of course, in a perfect world, I would love to see him in that black and gold, but I'm just happy he's out there doing his thing, man. And, that's him, and I wish all him and he come from a great family, man. Shout out to his older brother Chris. He was a great athlete, and that whole
Yep.
family. So yeah,
Yep.
I definitely can't. I just can't stand when I see people do that type of stuff, man. Try to talk ill or wish ill on a kid because he transfers or moves away. That's yeah.
That's being fanatical and it's not being genuine. I mean, you see this in professional sports when people burn somebody's jersey after they done brought you a whole lot of glory and championship stuff. But now that they're ready to move on with their life, they burning their jersey stuff. This is the same guy that you was just rooting for when he was benefiting your cause a minute ago. All right. But imagine doing this to a high school kid though. To a kid
Oh
that's
yeah.
still developing
That's what
and
I said,
becoming
man.
a
It's people.
grown man. You know what I'm saying? They still developing. You doing this to a kid. That's diabolical, man. You
Mhm.
cannot be that fanatical of the sport where you're negating the human nature behind the sport and the growth that is happening for
Yeah.
this young man. Um, I've seen, I ain't- I'm pretty sure you're gonna get the context behind this, but like certain kids had transferred out of a program to another program and they felt like they were betrayed, they were backstabbed or something. But like sometimes you boosting up their numbers and making sure they're getting all these targets and stuff, that's not everything for them. Sometimes these kids are actually worried
Hmm.
about culture. They actually worry about their mental health and how they're being taken care
Yeah,
of to achieve what they want to achieve. A kid,
exactly.
we have seen students that were in top five, top six in their respective categories in their position and leave that school because of culture, because of treatment.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't think I have to be very specific about that.
Like I said,
But then they moved on and they actually accomplished some
oh
things
no.
because they were able to protect their mental health and they were able to protect their bodies as well. And I would never hate on that. As much as I hate to lose them and to see them go.
All right, we lost coach's connection, man. We want to apologize, man. We had a lot of connection issues today. Especially with me, but yeah, we just lost coach. He'll pop
My
back up
bad.
here in a second.
Am I here?
But yeah, kind of just to piggyback off of what he was saying. The, my whole mindset with transfers has always been if the kid wants it and the parents want it, hey, that's all that matters. Nobody else's opinion matters, you know. But that's just how I feel. But I just hate when people talk down on kids for moving. And
All
most of the time, it may not even be a football reason or something like that. You don't know what's going on. So
It can be a
yeah,
living
I
situation,
got
man.
I got you,
Like,
man.
bro, it can be, oh, we had to move. The lease is up. They want to raise the rent on us, and my mom says she can't afford it. We have to find somewhere else to live. I gotta move to such and such and such. You know what I mean? But some of these
Oh,
coaches don't
you get
care about
you
that
get it.
human element of it, bro. There's a human element to
Yeah,
this.
and people we live in an age now where people automatically assume it's something something
NIL.
something wrong. You know what I'm
Money
saying?
got to do with it.
It's somebody's getting paid.
Somebody getting
Like
paid.
bro, like that's why I
Bro,
say I see
we
it.
need somewhere to live.
I don't ask no questions because well, number one, it's none of their business. Like I said, it could be something totally personal. People just assume because the kid plays football, he's moving because of this. And you don't know what the situation is. So, like I said, parents cool with it. That's all that matters. Nobody else, nothing else matters. The coach could be mad about it. Fans could be mad about it. Boosters could be mad about it. It really don't matter, man. Like you said, you don't want nobody controlling how you raise your kids. You don't. If the parent, like I said, if the parents make that decision, the kids cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Facts.
None of my business, man. That's all that matters.
Facts.
Oh man, quick in the comments, man, we got to shout out Mr. Sean Lucas from the Grit and Grind podcast, man. Appreciate you showing some love up here listening to us and making some comments about Farmville Central. I see there.
Yeah. Coach Oates in the building, man.
Oh yeah, so Coach Oates. Coach Oates always showing love, man. Appreciate it.
Coach Oates, again, we mentioned it earlier in the pod, man. For y'all to get that playoff win, I don't want to make it
So,
seem
Sean.
like it's a moral victory or whatnot, but you changing that trajectory, man. Like he said in the early interview I had with him, he's finally having his guys now, where he's getting rid of the past and trying to bring in a new, and he's got a great amount of young kids that are still developing. I think that Coach Oates is going to be able to see
Oh,
his dreams to fruition and see that thing turn around fully.
oh yeah, definitely.
With them getting a playoff win and the first time since I don't know when, that's a sign in the right direction, man. I
I
used
think
to
you're
be
really gonna see
scared to
the. I
play
think you're really gonna
against
see
you.
the big. I think you're gonna see the big jump this upcoming season. This next year, I think that's when you're gonna see the real big jump there. Because it's building,
Hmm.
You said you're just building that foundation up, man. You gotta think about it, man. He basically rebuilt that program from the ground up. And
Facts.
that's not easy, especially in an area like that where you're already dealing with got to compete with the numbers issue. The changing demographics in that area over the last
And
couple
Harold's.
years. Then
And Harold's.
in addition to what it did to to the area and stuff. So
People are dragging kids from
yeah,
out there because they right down the
so
road.
like I said, he's been building that thing up, man. And I mean, like I said, then of course, somebody from Charlotte is going to look at Union and be like, "Oh, they only won such and such games this year. No, they didn't win no games last year." But you don't know where that program, where they're coming from, how
Right.
how far they came. You know what I'm saying?
And what they got
So
to deal with on their
it takes a
schedule.
lot, man. Stuff like that ain't built. It's not built. Something like that's not built overnight. You know, it takes time. It's a process. When they talk about trusting the process, this is what we're talking about. And just listening to Coach, speak when he was up here, man, the wisdom that guy has, man. Like I said, they're in the program's in good hands, man. If I had to choose somebody to build up my school, that's who I want, doing it. Man,
So
we
that
might,
saying
we might,
go,
you
oh,
know, you know, you're a dark horse, man. We might need to try to steal him
hey,
away.
hey, hey. Oh, wait.
Hey, coach, man, you want to come home, man?
How that saying go, Rome wasn't built in one day.
Um, oh
He is a
no,
dark horse, though. A champion.
he is a dark horse.
He is a dark horse. These are the facts of
Oh
life.
man,
Um,
oh,
while we got Union on our breath, man, we haven't had a pod since this has transpired, but that feat that they pulled off in the first round, going to Halifax County and overcoming that 20-point deficit to win. Um, Tobias Cromartie, who was your guys' preseason player of the year last year, 318
no,
yards
he
for
he he,
four
he wa- no, he
tutties.
was he was the he was the he was just he was the player of the year last year.
He was a
Yeah, he
player of
was
the
the, he
year.
was the player of the year last year.
That's when we left it on the public book because he got a heck of a camp now. That dude, he can run for president if he wants to, and he'll win. He got a great support system, but deservingly so, man. Because
Oh
that
yeah,
kid, he
oh
busts
yeah,
his tail, man. I gave him player of the week last week for the paper because of that performance, man. 318 yards, four touchdowns to overcome a
yeah.
20-point
Oh yeah,
deficit.
Dave.
And
Ain't nothing,
granted,
ain't
it
nothing,
just won't
nothing,
him. It was a
nothing.
whole squad. It takes the O line, it takes the fullback, it takes Mr. Acock, the hike the ball and hand it off. Um, but that's a great feat, man.
Oh yeah, definitely,
I This
definitely.
is only his sophomore year. I look forward to what
If
he
you if
can do in the
if you're looking at
future. Go ahead, bro.
oh yeah. Oh no, I was just with you, man. Yeah, he definitely the best is yet to come, and that's slowly building. So with him leading the way, that's why like you're really gonna see um them take that big jump, the big jump this upcoming season, man. His junior season, definitely a hell of a player, hell of a performance.
All he need to do, man, he need to hit them weights a little bit more for me, man. If he hit them weights a little bit more, get a little bit more, a little thicker, a little more stocky, I think he'll be down there and untackable. Like he's gonna remind me of Travis Williams back in the day from Union. Travis Williams, this running back that Union had back in 2007, 2008, bro. You had to make a business decision to tackle that guy, bro. It was like, do I want to throw up my shoulder, or do I want to try to trip him up, or do I want to get cussed out by my coach? Like, what am I about to do right here, man? Because he'll be running at you with so much mass, full steam ahead, bro. And the shit was intimidating. And Tobias, he has that type of like umph to him. That type of acceleration was like, all right, it's me and you, mano a mano, what's about to happen? And I've done seen him pop a lot of dudes. But if he had even more mass, it'll be more intimidating to defenders, I think. Oh, boy, them froze on. Like I said, folks, we try to make it happen for y'all, man. We try to at least give these kids a highlight. We even touched Harold's today. That's how I know we're trying to spread our wings out here. But everybody, I'm gonna give Chris one more chance to get back on here so we can try to give him a shout out. Um, to everybody, it's been a heck of a season, you guys. Um, now that we're only down to one Sampson County team in football, we have one Sampson County team in soccer. We still gonna try to keep this thing going and try to highlight some basketball in between the time. Basketball is a little bit more more stressful because it's happened so much more frequently. But being with my position as a sports editor, I'm gonna try to make sure that I can keep things up to date and we highlight these kids during the basketball season as well. But Mr. Harris said that he is logged off. I want to give my utmost thanks to him for creating this platform first and foremost. Um, his vision is a great vision. Our intentions are still the same, and that is to highlight the greatness of this county, this community, and this region. Um, these kids deserve those flowers. And I want to let every young man know who possibly played their last football game Friday. Don't hang your head down, man. Don't hang your head down for nothing. You have accomplished and achieved something that a lot of kids only could dream about and only think about. And in hindsight, they wish they could do. You did it. And this doesn't have to be the end. It's only the end if you accept it as the end. You guys have these opportunities to apply to colleges, to apply and do walk-ons. And there's a myriad of examples of athletes who became successful after being walk-ons. Just because you ain't got that letter in the mail today, don't mean you won't get that letter in the mail tomorrow. So I don't want y'all to be feeling like it's over, like it's done, like this is the end of the road. There's more life beyond this, but it's only gonna come to fruition out of what you want out of it. You understand? It's gonna come out what you want out of it. Do you want to pursue it? Do you feel like still giving it that grind? Can you manage your personal life, football life, and your studies? You're gonna get out what you put in. The input will determine the output. This doesn't have to be the end of the road. I have a lot of love for y'all, man. Just because y'all see me rocking that H, y'all all know I love every child here in Sampson County that is grinding to be great. Every one of you. from Jacob Holland in Midway, to Devin Jones at Lakewood, to Mandy Adams in Union. I love all y'all, man. Keep grinding. Keep striving to be great. Nobody else believe in you. Coach Goodman believe in you. I love y'all. Let's keep grinding, folks. Let's keep wishing for our county as a whole. Even though we have our rivalries and stuff, we still got Clinton Soccer in play, who is traveling to Southwestern Randolph on Tuesday for regionals for chance to be appeared into consecutive state championships. And we got Hopton traveling to Tarboro Friday for a chance to advance. Um, a great gesture that I saw last Thursday that I think I mentioned earlier in the pod. I saw a coach from Lakewood, a coach from Hopton, and a coach from Union, all at Clinton soccer games supporting Clinton soccer. From one win, we all win. If we can be united as a community and love each other as a community, as a county, that will show how great Sampson County truly is. And I pray that for our county. I pray that for our kids. The way that they do on social media, you see a whole lot of cross platforms of kids sharing stuff from other people, other school kids. Why can't we do that as adults? Share each other's endeavors, share each other's love and these opportunities and the highlights of each other. I think we could truly make this thing great if we all just love one another, man. In a world of so much divisiveness, sports is always a thing that can unite people, and that's what we try to do on this platform. So, guys, on behalf of Mr. Chris Harris, as on behalf of our sponsors, I want to say thank you, guys. We will definitely do another recap next week after the next round of playoffs. But for all those that follow BuzzFeed Podcast and follow all of our kids here in Sampson County, nothing but love. Thank y'all. Have a good weekend.